inevitable. I am inevitable. I am Iron Man.
Welcome back to Sharky's Fake Bricks, the channel that buys, builds, and reviews exclusively fake Lego. Today, I'm reviewing a fake Lego minifig variety pack, which includes 8 unique Thanoses, or Thani, whatever the plural form is. I paid only $4.58 for all of them, but we're gonna take a closer look at each to see if it's worth the buy. Let's get to it. Alright, up first we have the most generic Thanos in the lot. Yeah, this guy's the most basic. He doesn't have any armor and not a ton of printing either. You'll see the leg and torso printing is actually pretty decent. He doesn't have any back printing, but yeah, I think the printing goes together really nicely here. Up close on the head, he's got some yellow, angry eyes and a little bit of a chin. Not really the classic Thanos chin, so it kind of just looks like a goatee. But yeah, it gets the point across. Let's look at this sword. So this is our first look at the swords from this lot. First of all, they are super durable. I mean, they're a lot heavier than I thought they would be. I don't know, I guess I was just expecting them to be super flimsy, but they have a super solid connection. And this could pass for Lego if they made stuff like this. It is comically large. I mean, it looks like a Final Fantasy sword. But yeah, I think the sword is great. Just to get it out of the way, downside for all of these figures is the loose hands. You can see, I mean, even me just turning this sword, yeah. Unlike Lego, these hands don't clip in a second time. You just kind of push them in all the way. Yeah, and they're all extremely loose. But I'll talk more about that in the playability. Because these loose hands make it pretty tough to play with. But yeah, that is our first Thanos. Thanos number 2 is our first look at the armor. So in total, this lot comes with 4 armor sets. And I'll just go in detail for this one because they're all exactly the same. So each of the Thanos figures were packed individually, and there were 4 cages that included these armor pieces. So you could have mixed and matched pretty much on any figure that you wanted, who you wanted to put the armor on. But yeah, I'm actually going to disassemble this guy to show you how the armor is put on. Alright, so here is our just empty figure. This guy actually has really good printing, wow. Yeah, but first up we'll put on the feet. These pieces are actually really cool. It's definitely something Lego could consider in the future if they ever wanted to do more beefed up armor. But really, so this part is just open. You'll see it's the shape of a Lego foot. All you have to do is slide it on just like that. And we'll put the other one on. Yeah, these actually stay on pretty well, and it actually makes Thanos more sturdy standing up. He's got a little wider base. Yeah, so that's the feet. Next, we'll put on the handcuffs. These things were probably the most frustrating to put on, especially because these hands don't clip in a second time. So, yeah, you see it's on there. It's not super in place. It kind of wiggles around. Yeah, and every time I try to put these on the figures, you have to push really hard to get the hand in. And then if you pull this thing at all, the hand just comes off. And once they're both on, it makes it super difficult to put the arms to the side here. You'll see it's kind of bulging out there. This is just kind of a design flaw. I don't think Lego would ever make something like this because it makes the figures really hard to play with, actually. And I'll talk about that more in a little bit, specifically with one of our armored Thanoses. But yeah, it's just really difficult to play with, and there goes the hand. All right, and then we put on the torso piece. This thing is actually pretty solid. It looks exactly like the one from the movie, which is really cool. So yeah, put that on. That goes on pretty easily. It has 2 studs on the back if you wanted to put something there. And then finally, we put the helmet on, and there you have it. So a couple complaints I have with the armor. Again, the handcuffs are very loose. It makes it very difficult to play with. So pretty much his hands always have to be in front of him like this. And then also the helmet, I don't know what it is, but on a lot of these guys, it just looks too small for their head. And I keep trying to push it down further, but yeah, it's just too small. And I'll put the sword back on. Yeah, this is our first armored Thanos. It's not like the armor is bad. I mean, it looks really cool once he's all put together. But again, I'll talk more about it in the playability section near the end of this video. And overall, just in general, I'm not a huge fan of it. All right, here's Thanos number 3. He's another generic Thanos with no armor. For some reason, he has an arc reactor on his chest. I'm not sure what that's all about. But again, great printing. His leg and torso printing go together really well. He's kind of got like a Pokeball on his belt there. There is a pretty weird leg connection. It looks kind of similar to Lego, but yeah, there's like a weird opening in the middle. I didn't notice this affect the connection at all. I mean, it's pretty solid, unlike the hand, as you can see. Yeah, these hands are super loose. But this figure also came with our first look at the double-bladed sword. So this is identical to the single-bladed sword, but there's just 2 of them. And this is really cool. This is what we see in the movies. And again, it's really high quality, which I was surprised about. The downside, though, oh my gosh. The downside is that these hands are so loose. Anytime you try to spin this thing around. Oh, it's kind of spinning. Yeah! The hands just start unattaching themselves. So it's really hard to play with. It just makes it really hard to play with. Although the sword is very cool, you can't really pose it much because the hands are just going to fall off. Okay, so that's Thanos number 3. Here is our second armored Thanos, Thanos number 4. He's got a different torso and leg printing as the others. And all of these guys actually came with unique torso and leg printing, which I thought was pretty cool. And the same goes for the head. He's got some purple arms. We already looked at the armor closer. He's got no back printing. Yeah, again, a single-bladed sword. And this guy, for some reason, the helmet actually looks a little better on him. He's got blue eyes here and a little more of a cartoon look. I think it's just a smirk. This is probably my favorite armored Thanos of the 4. So yeah, pretty cool figure. Okay, now we have Iron Thanos. I saw this guy online and was hoping it would look good, and it actually does. It looks great. He's got no back printing here, but the armor, you'll see like the dark blue and gold. I really love the color scheme here. And then the helmet is just hilarious. He's got the purple face painted on there. And then he even has the chin lines going over his mouth. Yeah, and then underneath the helmet, he just has a standard Thanos face. And I think this one does justice a little better to the chin. But yeah, this is just a really cool figure. And if you're wondering, these energy pieces here actually work. Just like that. Of course, these are Lego designed. But yeah, I'm actually surprised they work, especially with these loose hands. But they do. Thanos number 6 here. This is our third armored Thanos. There's really not much I have to say about this guy. Again, unique torso, leg, and head printing. He's got the same armor and sword as we've seen before. And once again, his helmet just looks way too small for him. Man, Thanos needs to invest in a larger helmet size. Here is our second to last Thanos, Thanos number 7. I don't know why this guy just seems to be the most beefy, even though he's got the same armor as the other ones. Maybe it's just the double-bladed sword that makes him look like that. I'm not really sure. But this guy is like the least playable of all of them. And it's really because of the double-bladed sword. So first of all, with these little handcuffs, you can't really turn the sword. You can barely connect it in here. You kind of have to go from an angle and then turn it. Yeah, these things are just not meant to be played with. And this guy specifically, you can barely move his arm. I'm literally trying to, look at this. Yeah, you really cannot play with this guy. It's a little better with the single-bladed sword to move his arm around, but even that is pretty tough. And so this guy's pretty much just a statue. He's really only for display. And last up, my personal favorite, we have the Gauntlet Thanos. This guy is hilarious. First of all, he's got like this head mask thing that gives him a really shiny bald head. Which I guess is more movie accurate than the other ones, but it's just funny to look at. He's got red eyes here on the front, and if you take the mask off, he actually has a second Thanos head with blue eyes. So I'm not sure if he had some colored contacts in or what. If he had pink eye with this one. I'm not really sure. But yeah, let's take a closer look at this gauntlet because this thing is awesome. It's actually not as bad as I thought it was going to be. It's kind of comically large, you can see, compared to the other hand. It's just this absolutely massive fist that kind of weighs him down. And it also has all 5 fingers, which is kind of strange to see on a Lego minifigure. I didn't even know Lego hands had fingers. But yeah, this is actually a hand piece, so you can take it off there and see it looks just like the connection of a regular hand, and you just fit that in there, and it actually clips in better than the other hand, so it's not quite as loose. I do wish it had some printing or different colors for the stones. I think that would have been a great touch, but maybe this is before his conquest of the universe. The main downside to this massive hand, though, is that you can't put his arm to the side. Yeah, it's just way too big. There's no way you're going to fit it to the side there. So yeah, he pretty much always has to be clenched in a fist. Telling kids to get off his lawn or something. But yeah, that's our final Thanos. Well, now that we've looked at all 8 figures up close, let's eat. As in, take a look at the enjoyability, accuracy, and overall toy quality. So I did enjoy how bad some of these figures were. That part was just fun to see. But the construction of these figures was pretty difficult. So I would say enjoyability, for me at least, the build process and just having them is pretty low. The accuracy is actually super good. I mean, these armor pieces and the sword, as well as just the torso and leg printing, it looks super accurate. So yeah, I think they did a great job on the accuracy of these figures. Now, toy quality is not great. Again, you can barely move these guys, especially with the armor. The hands are just super loose and they come off every time you try to turn the sword. So good luck playing with these figures. Yeah, it's just very hard to do anything with these guys. And now the question of should you buy? Honestly, I don't think so. The quality of these figures is decent, but again, the armor just limits them so much. It's really hard to put together and you can't really do anything with them. So yeah, I would not buy these figures again. I mean, if you're looking for a cool hand gauntlet like this thing, or an Iron Man Thanos, then maybe, yeah, I would definitely buy these guys. And I mean, the swords are really cool. They're definitely high quality. So if you just want those, then yeah, maybe consider buying them. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed what you saw. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to help support me and this brand new channel. And if you like this video, you'll definitely like this related video. So go check that out right here. And I'll see you there.